Hey, good morning, everyone. 48 First Alert Meteorologist Eric Burke. It is 10:30 on your Tuesday. Obviously, we have a lot of weather to talk about. We'll talk about some national headlines as well. But the big impact associated with that winter weather arriving late this evening, overnight into Wednesday morning. And we're going to get right to it right now as we take a look at the winter weather advisory. This was put out by the National Weather Service early this morning, and this starts at 9 o'clock this evening, and it goes through 11 o'clock on Wednesday morning. This includes all North Alabama and southern Middle Tennessee counties. You may have gotten this notification on your 48 First Alert weather app. Again, very handy tool. And it is great in severe weather as well as winter weather. And this is not going to be the setup that we had for the big snowstorm we had earlier this year, where everywhere saw accumulating snowfall. The go outside and play in the snow type snow event. This is not it, but still impactful, especially when it comes to hazardous travel concerns. And that will be the biggest issue when you're heading out for work or taking the kids to school tomorrow. We are anticipating likely some closures and delays across the area. You could always find that on our website, WAFF.com. But travel, the biggest impact, as we're going to start to see snow mixed with sleet as well as rain. This all ramps up late this evening, overnight into tomorrow, with the most precipitation falling probably between about 3 a.m. and 7 a.m. right in the heart of that Wednesday morning commute. Still high confidence for most areas to see snow accumulating first on the grassy areas as our surface temperatures fall on roadways, bridges and overpasses for sure, always the first to freeze, but also those sidewalks as well as your driveway. That's where we'll start to see that snow and sleet starting to build up. And the problem is with the mixed precipitation that we're forecasting, when you get that sleet initially and cars drive over that, that all gets packed down, and then you start to get that coating of ice across the area. Freezing rain, this is kind of the tougher part of the forecast. This will be dependent on the temperature profile, not just at the surface, but in the lower levels of the atmosphere. If we get that rain that falls the liquid all the way down to the surface and then hits something at or below freezing, that's where you get that glaze of ice. Now, with the lighter winds and very light ice accumulations forecast, and we aren't anticipating a huge concern when it comes to power outages. So a look at our snowfall forecast. I know Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis has been making some adjustments to our map here. 2 to 3 inches of snow in that purple area. That includes Lawrence, Giles, and parts of central and northern Lincoln County up in Middle Tennessee. And that's where we'll see almost all snow for the entirety of this event. Therefore, the higher snowfall totals coming out of that. The blue area kind of along the state line, areas to the south, but a little bit more favoring areas of northwest Alabama for 1 to 2 inches of snow. And then the larger gray area, that's kind of the dusting sleet mix area. Temperatures will be a little bit warmer south of the Tennessee River as we go through the overnight into the morning. Now, roads will likely initially just be wet, but the faster the road temperatures and surface temps fall, that's when we'll start to see that accumulation. So we're going to go to your hour-by-hour forecast now. And as we go through this, today, really not a bad day. It was cold out the door this morning. Temperatures this morning were in the 20s and 30s. Wind chill pretty similar as we don't have the blustery conditions we've seen over the past several days. And our highs actually warm up into the mid to upper 40s. I know cleanup efforts across the area continue after Saturday evening and Sunday's severe weather, and a good day for that. Couple sprinkles starting to pop up. So this is one model that I think has a pretty good grasp on things, especially when it comes to temperatures. But you have to notice that the temperatures towards Sand Mountain, northeast Alabama, are in the 40s, where we're much colder. Areas along and west of I-65 and especially into parts of southern Middle Tennessee already at or below freezing. And that's where we're going to start to see the snow developing first. Now, by midnight, we're seeing light to maybe moderate snow showers move in over parts of northwest Alabama, but still the warmer areas south of the river still just seeing that cold rainfall. Here comes the more widespread coverage of the wintry mix, the snow mixing with the sleet as well as that cold rain. Here at 3:30, things are now widespread as far as the coverage of the precipitation, but looking at the temperatures, just those areas seeing the snow are at or below freezing, dropping into the 20s into Middle Tennessee. And then here's that morning commute. This is 7 a.m. Snow showers across northwest Alabama, Middle Tennessee. Sharp cutoff of areas seeing the sleet, but the sleet will also start to accumulate. It kind of has that slushy feel to it. and then still seeing cold rain showers over parts of Blunt, Etowah, and to Sand Mountain too. Now, as temperatures continue to cool, eventually everyone starts to see snow, maybe some sleet mixing in, but precipitation should end by mid to late morning. Will stay cloudy through the afternoon with the potential of maybe seeing some wraparound flurries. I actually think there is a brief window Wednesday after lunchtime that we're back above freezing, temperatures maybe 34 to 35 degrees, and we'll start to see the melting. The second side of this storm, though, an Arctic blast of air starts to settle in, and temperatures by 8 o'clock on Thursday morning are now in the teens and 20s. So that would lead to a very likely refreeze on area roadways with black ice possible for your Thursday morning commute. Taking a check of your wind chill, this is what we're going to be dealing with. Here's tomorrow at 3:30, wind chill or feels like temperature in the teens and 20s, and then the real cold Arctic blast comes in. This is what we're waking up to on Thursday morning. I mentioned the roads potentially having some black ice across the area, but 7 o'clock Thursday morning, we've got a dangerous wind chill anywhere from 4 degrees above zero to maybe even as cold as 5 below. And with a wind chill like this, that means frostbite can set in just a matter of minutes. So that's basically a look at what we're forecasting for tonight into tomorrow with the cold lingering into Thursday. I did mention that we would have a look at some national stories here. We're going to start with the wind in Philadelphia and a big chunk of the Northeast U.S. yesterday. I believe we've got some video here in and around Philadelphia. Powerful winds toppled trees and power lines, and also structures damage as well. For example, you see this gas station, the Sunoco there. The awning nearly tipped over in the Sharon Hill area, a suburb of Philly. High wind warnings were in effect for the area, South Jersey, Delaware, including Pennsylvania, all the way through yesterday morning. Winds turned deadly in Philly on Sunday when a tree fell on a car, killing a 65-year-old woman. And across the area of the Northeast, crews continue to work on restoring power and clearing the streets of debris. PECO, the power company out there, reported that the peak 126,000 people lost power. So they were dealing with extreme wind, and a lot of the lower 48 is going to be dealing with some of the coldest air of the season. Emergency pop-up shelters across the St. Louis, Missouri area getting ready to open up as forecasters like ourselves are bracing for that Arctic blast. We've got Mercedes McKay with more.
A really long, tough winter.
And unfortunately, it's nowhere near over as Peter and Paul Community Services opens up its emergency pop-up shelter once again.
Last month in January, we were open 14 nights of shelter, and we served probably over 150 people.
Chief Operating Officer Amanda Lawmeyer has seen firsthand how these shelters offer much more than just a warm place to stay.
It's really saving lives. I mean, there's individuals that we've served in the pop-up shelter who had such severe frostbite they had to have surgery, be admitted in the hospital.
Saving lives is also the mission of the new Novus Health Clinic, opening up this week inside the organization's community campus.
This was all about bringing more comprehensive care to the entire community and to the clients that we have in the building.
As much good that's happening inside these walls, there's an uncertain future.
There's a worry and concern as what's next. Every day a new announcement comes and seems to change things.
Not only are they having to worry about the bitterly cold temperatures here across the St. Louis area, they're also one of the many nonprofits and organizations that continue to worry as federal funding cuts continue.
There's a lot of uncertainty and not a lot of clarity. And until we have that clarity, it's really difficult to say, well, we're going to, do this program differently, or we're going to need this X amount of dollars.
While there's a lot of unknowns, Lawmeyer says they're focusing on private funding while staying true to the heart and soul of their organization.
It is difficult but fulfilling work, but this winter has been longer than we ever imagined.
First Alert meteorologist Eric Burke. One more time here, just going to take a look at your weather. Winter weather advisory in effect for all North Alabama, southern Middle Tennessee counties, in effect at 9 o'clock this evening through 11 o'clock tomorrow morning. The worst of the winter impacts will certainly be felt for that Wednesday morning commute to work and school. Again, any closures and delays across the area will be on our website, WAFF.com. Hazardous travel concerns, please travel with caution tomorrow morning. We'll start to see accumulation of snowfall and sleet across the area. Not looking at really a high likelihood of power outages due to the lack of ice that we're expecting to build up. But slick spots, certainly a concern here. Looking at our snowfall forecast for the worst of it, kind of between 3 and 7 as far as the widespread winter precipitation, but dusting to a sleet mix areas in that gray color along and south of the Tennessee River. We've got that blue band, including northwest Alabama along the state line into parts of southern Middle Tennessee. Highest snowfall totals will likely be along and west of the area in that purple color. And then we get ready for that Arctic blast that comes in, leaving us with a dangerous wind chill come at Thursday morning, 7 a.m., anywhere from 4 above 0 to 5 below 0. And that is dangerous cold. Frostbite can set in on a morning like that in just a matter of minutes. So winter definitely not done yet, but it's not all bad news on that 10-day forecast. Once we get through the cold stretch for the end of the week, we've got a high of 39 on Friday, 45 Saturday, 52 Sunday. Really looking forward to next week. We're in the low to mid 60s, even pushing 70 by Sunday before our temperatures fall again. On Friday, in association with, lining up with the sales tax holiday there in Alabama, we'll be at the Jones Valley Ace Hardware from 10 to 5. Come on out. Get your NOAA weather radio program. You can buy a new one. Again, tax-free. The 48 weather team out there. Always a great event. Great to meet you. And that's Friday, Jones Valley Ace Hardware there from 10 to 5. So that's going to wrap up this quick little weather update for you. I appreciate your time as always. Stay weather aware. Plenty of updates coming up on Tennessee Valley Living with meteorologist Jeff Denoyer, as well as our newscast at noon. And of course, live with you at 4, 5, 6, and 10, Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis. Have a great Tuesday. Enjoy the warmer temps today.